Good morning and welcome to another episode of An Analog Man in a Digital World. Today we have the lovely Solo.
Solo, yes.
And I'll let you introduce yourself because,
Okay.
I don't want to do any injustice. So you just introduce yourself to the audience and tell us about you, and then we'll begin our conversation.
All right. My name is Solo Tema. I'm from Pretoria, but based in Johannesburg.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an addiction counselor by profession. I'm also a founder of an organization called Hope in Progress.
Mm-hmm.
It's an organization that helps the youth that are struggling in substance abuse. I refer them to rehab centers. I do family intervention, and I find them employment after their rehab program.
Amazing.
Yes.
Now, tell us a little bit about the journey that got you into the addiction space, because I think that's the essence of your work.
It's quite a journey. It has been quite a journey because I got addicted to drugs and alcohol from the age of 18.
Oh, wow.
And I got stuck in that darkness of addiction for 18 years.
Yeah.
Being in and out of jail, it was quite traumatic and painful, because I had...
Take your time.
Okay.
Take your time.
Yeah, everything just comes back.
Yeah. Take your time.
All right. Yes, it has been a very traumatic experience because I got into addiction, as I've said, from the age of 18. And I remember I was with a group of friends, they invited me to a house party. And when I arrived there, it was full of celebrities. And because I was just a naive girl who is 18 years, you understand? And I'm with people that I look up to, people that I see on TV,
right.
And they gave me a sense of belonging. They made me feel like I belong with them, So they offered me the drugs and I took them. And I remember there was a voice, in my head saying that drugs are bad, don't do it. But I ignored it completely.
So do you feel that the drugs kind of brought like validation to a void that was already there?
Of course. Because when being in recovery, once I was trying to search, do some introspection upon myself, just to try and see where the sense and the patterns have been. And I realized that I didn't really have an appealing childhood. I suffered from, feeling worthless and seeking attention and wanting to be loved because, growing up, my grandmother used to tell me that I will not be anything in life. I will end up as a nobody. And I grew up with all those voices in my head, and later in life it projected.
So how did you get within yourself to find an out to now take the pain that you were going through now to be the healing process for yourself and others? How did you, what was the tipping point that got you there?
When I reached rock bottom, that's when I was homeless. I was sleeping under bridges. Nobody wanted me. Not my family, not even the trap houses, not even the drug dealers themselves, because I was such a problem. So when I reached bottom, I could see my life, perishing away. Because I was insane, and everybody around me knew that I was insane, but I was the last person to find out that I was insane. So I sought, help. I went to social workers that could assist me, on starting a journey of going to rehab, and I stayed there for about a year. So having to stay there, I got to discover who I am.
Nice.
I got to realize my purpose on earth. I got to realize that my name, Tsolofelo, meaning hope, that what it really meant, because I had lived so hopelessly for so long. I ended up even at some point believing that that's how my life is supposed to be. But no, God had a different plan for me.
It's funny that when you figured it out, even right now when we're talking, your whole facial expression changes because you realize the other side of it.
Yeah.
And now you're taking that and you're impacting on others.
Oh, yes.
So tell me a little bit about the work you do and the kind of impact you've had in people who are dealing through addiction.
I talk about my lifestyle, on all social media platforms because I want to reach out to many people as I can.
Right.
So I go to schools, I do some programs by speaking to, especially the young ones in primary schools, those that are from the age of 10 to 12, to teach them about the dangers of substance abuse,
Right.
on life orientation on its own. So I also do outreach programs in communities. I've got support groups for parents only because when there's an addict in the house, the whole family suffers.
Right.
And the community is not kind at all to drug addicts,
Right.
Yeah, in communities what happens is that if they had found, because the only thing they can resort to is crime in order for them to support their habit. So once they are found, stealing something, they get beaten up to death.
Oh, no.
You understand? Community takes matters into their own hands because the police also, they don't know what to do about it.
Yeah. So how do people reach you to get to your services? Like, can you just give the audience, the method where they can reach you and tap your expertise in the space?
Okay. They can reach me on Instagram, Tsolo_Tema. And on Facebook, Tsolo Tema, that is TSHOLOTEMA. On TikTok, Tsolo Tema, and my cell phone numbers and WhatsApp numbers are 063 799 3227.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Now, I did have, just to expand on what you talked about with the addiction and stuff, how do you, a lot of it stems from childhood.
Yeah.
A lot of it stems from just not having the ground, the foundation to navigate life without falling into the pitfall. So what's your advice? What is your insight, having gone from, the childhood, the addiction, you hit rock bottom and you're like a phoenix, you've risen.
Yeah.
So what is the essence of that you found through your journey that you can say this is the thing that got me into the other side, got me to see the true self, the true soul, the person that you actually embody?
Yes.
What was that journey? What was the key ingredient to that?
It was a power that was greater than myself, which was God, the good, orderly direction.
Yeah.
Because remember, I had lost all morals of life and values.
Right.
I was just living recklessly. And everything that I was doing back then, everything that I touched, it would just get messed up. So I needed to understand where I'm coming from, because I remember even in the first few weeks in my rehabilitation time, I struggled so much to surrender, because they were talking about surrender. I'm like, what is it that I have to surrender to? And when I looked at my life, I'm like, but everything that I've been doing, the crime, the drugs, the alcohol, all of those things, they didn't get me anywhere.
Right.
So why am I holding on so much, to the life that wants to kill me?
Right.
Yeah. So I had to strip myself of everything that I thought I knew.
Yeah.
And allow myself, to become a child, again.
Right.
To be teachable as well.
Right.
Yes.
Right. And now, with the space that you reside in now, what advice would you have for somebody who's listening to this and they're going through they're in the bottom of their space?
Yeah.
How do you what's your advice to them, and how, what would you say to help them get the hope, the faith to extract themselves from the current space they might be in?
What I will say to them is that it's not the end of the world. You are not a bad person. You have just made bad choices. And recovery is possible. Recovery is available only when you are ready, because we can't force somebody. You understand? I have parents that they want their kids to seek help, to be clean. But then if they don't want to,
Yeah, you can't change somebody who's
You
not
understand?
ready to be changed.
Yeah, I keep on telling them that the best you can do is just show them love and pray for them, you know. And when I counsel them, because when I talk to them from a point where they understand. You understand? I don't speak to them as a counselor at times. No, I speak to them as somebody who has been there.
Right.
You understand? So that I'm able to get through to them. So help is available. You know, I'm here to pursue my calling, and I deeply believe that this is what God has called me for. I cannot have lived the life that I've lived for 18 years and still sitting here today, clean and serene, restored to my sanity, and not doing anything about it, because knowing the pain, you know, of living in that turmoil, in that darkness, it's so terrible that I have to, you know, help others.
Yeah. And now, what's next for you? What's the next big thing that you're looking forward to?
Oh, yes.
What's your vision of the future for yourself and others?
Because I have recently started writing some short stories, because there is a lot that has happened in my life, you know, during that 18 years. And
so you're putting it together in a book, or what?
I would love to start by putting it in a documentary.
Oh, nice.
A documentary, a movie, a book, and theater as well.
Nice.
You know, in all forms of media, because I want to reach out to as many people as I can.
Yeah.
You know, it's just that I'm still looking for that production company that will say
it's gonna come.
It's gonna come.
Everything else came. This is gonna come for you too as well.
So, because you know, there is a saying that it takes a village to raise a child. You know, and in our societies, you know, community members, you know, when they see that your child is living this kind of life, obviously it's not a good life. They do not approve.
Right.
But it would really help that communities, they come together, you know, as one and try to help these kids that are struggling in addiction.
Right.
Yeah, instead of killing them every time they've done something wrong.
Yeah. So what's your last piece of advice to the audience as we wrap up this episode?
Yeah, especially to the families that have an addict in the house. You know, there is so much that you can do, you know, to help someone. You know, if someone doesn't want to get help, they don't want to get help. That's just a sad part of it. And there's so many misconceptions about substance abuse and drug addicts as a whole, is that a person needs to reach rock bottom before they can be able to get to recovery. But that is not true. You know, reach out to that sister, to that brother, you know, and, you know, talk to them in a very polite way. Instead of saying that if you love me, you would leave the drugs. Rather, you know, instead convey a message of, I love you, and I know you can do this. You know, this is not the life for you. You understand? Let's try and tackle everything with love. Yes, it is very, very challenging, you know, to have an addict around, you know, and, you know, the ones that are around them are the ones that suffer the most.
I appreciate that message of love, because I think when you lead with love, you have kindness. You come with kindness. You come with a compassion, and, you know, and the people are able to see a little wide in the lens of what's possible.
Absolutely.
And I really like that. And we appreciate you for coming in today. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being on our show today.
Let's change the world.
I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you.